period. I changed the video resolution settings, so hopefully the video quality will be a little better, although the last live stream we did have some like little bit of lag stuff going on. I got some notification about my bit rate, so I may have to investigate that later when I'm done with all the live streams. Alright, so how are you all doing? What's new in the last week? I can tell you what's new in my life over the last week. I made granola yesterday for the third time. I've been kind of tinkering around with this one recipe and trying to get the bake time and the bake temperature just right. And I think it turned out pretty good, pretty well this time. Hello, hi Ryan, and all of you. Work. Where do you work? Hi Adam. So, did anyone do anything fun in the last week, or did you continue to do a hobby or something? Okay, so to answer your question, Adam, I haven't yet spoken to Mr. Wang. He texted me on Tuesday saying that he's been thinking about how he wants to do the credit, no credit for this class and stuff like that, and he said he would get on a Zoom chat with me to discuss all that. He just hasn't done it yet. I imagine he's pretty busy with baby Wang. But in our previous conversations, we had talked about, since you're not coming back to school and I'm never seeing you in person, I mean, unless I, see you sometime next school year at most. But we were thinking of, like, you continue to do your work in your notebook the way you would normally do, and then maybe make a video at the end of the semester that you just kind of show, in the video you show, like, okay, here's assignment 1, here's assignment 2, assignment 3, and you just kind of you're like walking us through the video, or like walking us through your notebook in your video, and then that would be how you kind of turn everything. At least that was an idea we had discussed that we thought might work better than other ideas, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Okay, so any hobbies or activities that you guys have been doing? Learning anything new? Or trying anything new? Oh, cool. Where did you go fishing? Okay. Did you catch anything? Oh. I think I've only gone fishing once, and it was up in Lake Tahoe with my cousin and uncle. But like, we didn't like any fish that we caught. We would just kind of, put it back in the stream. And then my cousin and I, we went back to my grandma, who like speaks no English, and we were like, we caught a fish this big. And then she was all excited and was like, oh, great. I mean, she was saying all this in Cantonese, and my aunt had to translate for us. And she was like, oh, that's so great. Where is it? We'll like cook it up and all this stuff. And then we were like, oh, we let it go. And then her face just fell. That's cool that you can still enjoy one of your hobbies even during this shelter in place. I haven't been going outside a lot. In fact, I don't think I've been outside in a whole week. Just because, and while I do like going outside, I really, really hate wearing masks. And like the previous few times that I went outside and I tried wearing the N95 mask, I just felt like I was going to pass out because I just couldn't breathe very well in them. So now that San Mateo County has basically required that everyone wears a mask when they go outside, I just like my dislike of masks is greater than my desire to go outside. What about everyone else? What are you doing lately? Yeah, I think they did say that if they find you not wearing a mask, they're gonna start with like giving you a warning, just because maybe people had not heard about it yet, but it's gonna become like the whole the violation of shelter in place. Like not wearing a mask is like violating the shelter in place guidelines. Okay, so for you 10 that are watching, I'm gonna give you like a couple minutes, and I want you to write down a high from this week, and like from the last Thursday that I saw you, a high and a low, so something good. And don't say nothing. There is always something good that you can be grateful for in the past week, and then maybe something that was like not so happy in the week. Okay, so I'm gonna let you watch this guy for a little bit while you think. So I expect to see some answers. Let's see. What package did you get, Edmund? I agree with getting Mexican food would definitely be a high, or getting any type of good food would be a high for me. There were a couple cool things that happened since I saw you on Thursday for me. On Sunday, we got takeout. We don't get takeout very often, just because usually we just buy ingredients and we cook, because it's just more economically efficient that way. But I was really feeling in a mood where I was just like, I was really missing like breakfast, or actually brunch in particular, like the whole like brunch as an activity where you go to a restaurant to eat brunch, and all the brunch foods that you can eat there. I was really missing that, so I was kind of sad about that like we can't go to our favorite brunch places. Oh no, Adam, that's so sad. Yeah, so we ordered pizza and garlic breadsticks from this place across the street. So that was like definitely a high, because I love bread. And that was cool on Sunday. And then on Tuesday night, I watched, or I tried to, look outside at night to see if I could catch the Lyrid meteor shower. Did anyone get a chance to try to look for that last night, by the way? If you saw the video I posted on Wednesday, I mentioned it. It's the first meteor shower of spring, the Lyrid meteor shower, and it had its peak on Tuesday night, but it's been going on for the past few days. So I tried to see that, although the light pollution is pretty bad where I live, so it's very difficult to see the sky in general. But I did see one meteor. That was cool. And I made granola last night. So now I have granola that I can eat for breakfast, and I love granola. So I guess I'll just say a low for me is I can feel that I am, I guess getting kind of down about that I can't go to, I can't do certain activities that I really want to do, like go to brunch or go climbing at the climbing gym. So while we're kind of like, I guess, jumping off of this, just want to do a little bit of a pulse check about this class. How are you guys feeling about like this class, the workload for this class? Like, is it too much, or is it like a okay amount? And also just in general, like I want to get your feedback about like the unit we're doing, the material that we're covering, the things you're learning, and even like the way that the style of activities, because I want this unit, like, human impact is very broad. Like, there are a lot of different topics that we can go into, and I want to make it as meaningful for you as possible. So like, especially from like next week going forward, if there are areas or topics that you are more interested in, you should definitely let me know, because like I'm just kind of picking topics to kind of explore based off of, I'm really just basing off of my own journey with sustainability and what topics were kind of eye-opening for me. But if you are curious about something, or you're very interested in learning about something, you should let me know, and then I can be like flexible with the community. Okay, so I'll keep the same amount of workload, about like 3 activities a week, not including live streams. Like off the top of your head, is there anything that that interests you in particular when it comes to like human impact or like sustainable living or something? Okay, so sometimes the worksheets are harder. So we've done 3 worksheets so far, Abigail. The population one, human population worksheet, the worksheet that went along with the story of stuff, and then the one from yesterday, which was the climate change graph. Can you kind of like rank them in terms of like which took longer, which was easier, or whatever? Like, is it the length of the worksheet, or is it the difficulty of the questions that's making it take a long time? Okay. How did, which worksheet would you say was the most difficult out of the 3? Or out of the ones that you've done so far? Okay. My guess is that the populations one probably took the longest, because I kind of gave that to you to learn the information by yourself and answer questions about it. Whereas with the story of stuff, you're answering questions about a video you just watched, and with the worksheet from yesterday, you got to watch a video of me kind of exampling something, and then you get to try it out yourself. So I think that makes sense that the population one, I knew the population one would be a little tricky just because I wasn't going over anything about it, and I was kind of leaving it to you to read on your own and learn on your own. So, okay, that makes sense. Maybe I'll just keep in mind that if I am going to do something like that where I'm not really going over the material beforehand, I'll keep the worksheet, I'll keep the questions shorter, or I'll keep the length of the worksheet shorter. Okay, so after this week, So tomorrow, the activity is movie and quiz. Quiz is going to be pretty short, 10 points, not exactly 10 questions. I think it's like 8 questions or so. It shouldn't be that bad. But starting next week is where the unit gets pretty flexible. And what I'm thinking is that I will try to kind of focus on giving you guys activities that allow you to investigate your own household, your own life, your own lifestyle, and kind of collect data that can help you become more aware about, like, you know, your consumption habits and stuff like that. So that's the direction I'm kind of thinking for starting next week. So it'll be a bit more hands-on activities. I'll still do screencasts for, like, so that you can learn some content, so that, you know, that obviously is watching online on YouTube. But I'm gonna try to have assignments or activities where, like, you really don't really. I'm gonna try to not require you to use a computer as much as possible. Okay, so here, if you got a chance to watch the Story of Stuff video, I'm wondering if, no, actually, let me do something else first. The activity from yesterday, if you got around to looking at it, it involved this graph, and you were answering questions about this graph. Were there any questions about it, or any confusion, or was it okay? And if you did not get a chance to look at the assignment yet, well, then you can look at this graph right now and tell me. I'll move it over a little bit. Tell me, what is this graph data saying? What is being shown with this data? Yes, that is the question that the graph is trying to answer. And so then, what is the answer to that question based off of the data that you see? Or so, like, how is the sea ice changing? So is it increasing, decreasing over time? It is decreasing over time. Thank you, Abigail. Okay, so the sea ice amount is, extent is another word for amount. The amount of sea ice is decreasing over time. How is that going to impact life on Earth? Any thoughts? No thoughts? I have no idea why no one else is answering, Abigail. Andrew, Ryan, Adam, Jan, Edmund, where are you? Okay, well, Abigail, as the only person that's being responsive to me at the moment, how do you think this decrease in sea ice is going to affect life on Earth? Temperatures are rising and the ice is melting. Some Arctic. Yeah, that's actually a really good answer. That's like a great answer. There are some animals that really rely on the sea ice to be, living their life and stuff, such as polar bears. Polar bears, the only time that they can really go hunting for their meal for like the whole year is when there is sea ice, and the water has been frozen into ice. So if there's like less sea ice, then there's less environment for polar bears to be doing their hunting. There's less places for walruses to be breeding. So it has a huge effect on the animals that live in that area. The other big thing that's a problem with sea ice decreasing is that the ice is responsible for deflecting a lot of the sun's radiation that's coming in so that the Earth doesn't get too hot. So if we start losing our sea ice, then the Earth starts heating up more because less sunlight is being deflected away. And then the sunlight that does, get absorbed by the Earth, it might get further trapped in the atmosphere due to greenhouse gases and stuff like that. So a decrease in sea ice has a direct effect on the temperature of the planet. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Okay, well, let's see. Abigail, what horror movies were you watching lately that are causing you to lose sleep now? For any of you other people that are still watching, but maybe you went away to go get something and now you're back, if you want to just ask any questions or anything that you're curious about, you can ask me anything about myself, or you can ask anything about, I don't know, like anything you're curious about with this unit or sustainability, or anything like that. Oh, I see. So do you like watching those kinds of like series that I keep seeing on Netflix? That's like, you know, talking about like inside the mind of a serial killer, or like, I don't know, investigating these serial killer people. And, like, are those the kind of shows that you like watching? Oh, I see. Yeah, I feel like I would get too paranoid if I started watching those things. So I just kind of stay away from that and prevent any more paranoid nightmares. But I have been watching this series on YouTube. It's kind of like a nature documentary series. It's called Our Planet, on Netflix, and I like it. It's pretty cool. It's been teaching me a lot about like different like animals in different biomes, and like, you know, different animals that have these really bizarre like behavior patterns, and like sometimes it's just really funny. Like, I don't know, like birds have some of the weirdest and funniest like dances to try to attract a mate. It's just really something else to watch. Cool. Okay. Well, since it's been pretty unresponsive today, unless there's like any more questions about anything or any last minute, I don't know, something that you want to share or ask about this class or ask about me or anything. If there are no more questions, we can just end for today. Okay, well, and in that case, I don't want to like take up any more of your time than I need to. So, thank you, Abigail, for being my companion for the last like 15 minutes. Okay, well, for the other of you that are there and just not speaking or just left your computer somewhere, I will talk to you next week or so.